you and your husband start Musicologie. We talked a little bit before the show. First of all, I love the name.
Thank you.
You're a newer company, and so interesting. You have 6 company-owned locations. We got 2 franchises in development. So we're going to take this conversation in a whole different direction and get in the world of starting out as this emerging franchise. And you're starting out at, ground zero, which is super exciting and probably challenging and nervous and all those other things. So we'll get in. We're going to get into all of that. But first, I'd like to hear on, how you and your husband started Musicologie. So what's the whole origin of this?
Okay, well, let's back up to, 2007. My husband and I met. We were both musicians in college, and we started making music together and hit the road. Decided to make music our career and lives and see what happened. So we toured the country with our band in a vegetable oil powered vehicle, all 48 lower 48 states for several years, and it was awesome. But also it's like really hard to make ends meet as like a traveling vagabond musician. So every working artist also tends to like teach music on the side. So I started teaching music out of my own home and at some studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we lived. Okay. And I just realized that like I love performing. Music is my passion, but like teaching is what I was put on this earth to do. It is like who I am. I am so passionate about it. So I just fell in love with it, and it sort of became more and more a part of my life. And I decided, this is it. I'm going to teach instead. Let's stop the vagabond thing. But again, it's just that side of it is really hard to make a career too. And I was working at other studios, working for other people, and just feeling like that they weren't doing it right. They weren't treating our like expert teachers, musician people like the highly skilled labor that it was. And they weren't creating what I saw was an opportunity to create this community of musicians, young and old, all different instruments. I mean, that's what's really cool about taking lessons at a studio instead of like some old ladies, living room, right? Which is exactly. I took my piano lessons growing up. So I started Musicologie with my husband in 2014. And it was just like me and a dream in this one small studio space with just like 6 rooms. And then over the course of the next 6 years, we built 5 other studios in partnership with musicians in other communities. And it's been awesome. And we have these 6 really incredible musician homes, hubs for exactly, what our mission is, which is to create those communities. And so in 2020, which was an exciting year to do this, we were like, let's do this more. How can we come to more communities? Because more communities, more students, kids need these kind of places where they can really feel at home and empowered. And teachers can build those careers too. So that's the long version, but here we are. Yeah.
That is great. First of all, so what instruments do you play?
So I play the piano and I sing and a little bit of ukulele too. My husband does drums, piano, guitar, bass. He's a recording engineer and producer, and I think that's it. Yeah. Oh no, I play the bass as well too, the upright bass.
Nice.
And, yeah.
So you guys get started. You start by getting the studio. How do you start getting customers? Like you're starting out at ground zero. How does this thing all happen?
Yeah. The way we got customers then is pretty much the way we get customers now, which is word of mouth, good SEO, and guerrilla boots on the ground marketing.
Right.
Back then, it was a lot more guerrilla boots on the ground marketing because we didn't have a ton of money to do, other stuff. But from the beginning, my husband and I worked really hard to make our SEO and our website really, really optimize and look really good, show people, communicate with our online presence, what great teachers we have, what a great community we are. So I think that's kind of been a strength from the beginning, is that online and sort of our software.
Absolutely. That's important. So did you guys have a business background? I heard you about being musicians, but were you in business before, or did you guys come from maybe an entrepreneurial background, or were you encouraged as kids growing up in an entrepreneur family? What was life like growing up?
That's a good question. And it's a wishy-washy answer. I guess when you are a musician, that is a business, and it's awesome and fun to play music, but you also have to be really savvy about your image and about your marketing and your branding and getting the word out. So I feel like that was kind of a crash course in sort of general businessy type things. And otherwise, no, my parents are both chemical engineers, and Joseph's parents are theater professors. And so I don't know. I think it's just that I think the bottom line and the reason why we're here and the reason why we're excited to just like keep growing is that we just love building things. And we want to build awesome things with people that we're excited to build awesome things with. And that, so we have a third business partner. His name is Kyle. He was like our original guitar teacher, but now he does all of our software engineering. So I mentioned our SEO. Now we've kind of taken it the next step, and we have this amazing studio management software that we've developed and designed. We have no business doing that. We only have 6 studios. Like, why do we have our own custom software? But we just really love building awesome things, and it's going to provide us a really great platform to grow from here. So.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're kind of laying a great foundation for what the future is going to hold in franchising. So you mentioned 2020. We kind of stopped from there. So was 2020, besides the obvious of what happened in 2020, was that also the genesis of where franchising kind of popped in both of your heads? Like, hey, this is how we're going to expand our company?
Yeah, 2020 was really interesting. We had already decided to go the franchising route. I mean, our 6 studios they're partnership models. So it is really similar to franchising. It's a little bit different because we put in the capital to get it started, and we share a little bit more of the risk with those owners, but it's still that same, like, we're coaching, we're providing the framework to sort of owner operator kind of people. So we sort of already were there, and we were just like, why are we fighting against this? Franchising already exists.
Right.
We don't have to create our own model. Like, it is already a model. So we had already kind of made that decision in 2020. What 2020 did was, number one, show us what great leadership in the music lessons industry. A lot of studios really struggled that year because, everything shut down, and they decided to shut down. We didn't shut down. We had a plan, and we switched immediately to online lessons pretty seamlessly, and it integrated with our software pretty seamlessly too. So we lost very few students, and we actually grew a ton that year and realized, like, okay, what we have is different from what other studios have, and what we have is us, I guess. I mean, it's our and processes, and the fact that we're building stuff constantly to make our studios better. So I think it kind of gave us the confidence to be like, yes, what we have is really solid, and we're really excited about the next level of our expansion.
So I want to go back to this partnership model. So how long ago then did the partnership model start, these company-owned locations?
Yeah, let's see. It started in 2018. We started with we opened up a second location in Columbus and tried to like run it ourselves, and that was fine, but we were like, you know what, let's find someone who's like embedded in the community. Let's find someone who loves this part of town and wants to be in this part of town and is passionate about where the location is. So 4 of our 6 locations were started as partnerships. And then we since actually converted that second location to a partnership model and kind of sold a portion of it to someone in the area. Oh. Music should be community focused, and so it shouldn't be a giant conglomeration. It should be a franchise. I don't know why it's not.
Yeah.
It should be. So.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.